Today, Jake and I are going to tackle some of the biggest issues about being a student at university.
As a student, you've got so many demands on your plate, whether that be social life, work, deadlines, maybe even a job, and trying to balance all that can be really stressful and be a really big stress on you whilst at university.
So we're going to show you how you can use OneNote, Outlook and OneDrive to overcome these barriers and manage your time perfectly at uni. OneNote is a digital notebook which allows you at university to bin the ring binders. So I'm going to show you some of the cool things that you can do on OneNote. Here you can actually store all your different notebooks. So you may have notebooks for different reasons, for different courses and things that you're doing. I have a OneNote here for my first year at university. The way that I've decided to organise this notebook is for my modules along the top as the chapters. So I do marketing, business, finance and entrepreneurship. And then my pages are the lectures that I've attended. So each lecture has a different page so you can store your files and your notes really in an organised way that's really clear for when you want to access them at a later date. You can also annotate and draw on the notes that you've made. So say if I want to organise my notes so they're a little bit clearer, I can actually highlight specific things that I've noted. So for example, if I want to highlight a specific definition, then I can do that to make sure that I go back to it. And say I want to underline and annotate something, saying it's important, I can do that as well. This just makes your notes really clear and really accessible at a later date. Also, what you can do on OneNote is you can input anything you want. So just like a notebook in real life, you can input any type of files you want, any documents, any web pages, and you can actually add them to your notes so they're directly accessible from that OneNote. One thing that I think is also really cool is the fact that you can actually record an audio onto your OneNote. So for example, if you really quickly wanted to say something and you didn't have time to maybe make notes or anything like that, you can actually click the record audio button and say something that somebody said, a quote or a specific piece of information, and that would come up on the OneNote, which you can click and play whenever you wanted to. And that's just really cool and exciting. And again, you can add stickers and things like that just to jazz up your notes to make them a little bit more exciting, because as we know, it might not be the most exciting thing to do at uni is to take notes. Also, what you can do is on the Learning Tools section, you can access your OneNote information in different ways. So by clicking the Immersive Reader option, you can actually see your text in many different formats. So for some people that may have learning difficulties, or they can kind of they prefer reading from different preferences, you can change the layout. So you can change the size of the font, you can change the spacing within the font, and you can change the background and things like that, which is just really important to people that may have learning difficulties or dyslexia or anything like that. It just makes it accessible for many people. And you can actually ask the Surface device to play what it is that's been written on there, should you want it to be said out loud to you. So I'm just going to pause that now. One other really exciting tool that you can do on OneNote, if maybe one day you're feeling a little bit lazy or you can't be bothered to actually type all of the words, is you can say the words aloud and OneNote will store them for you. So if you click on the dictate button and you dictate which language you want it to come up in, then OneNote will actually write that out for you, and I'll just trial that in one moment. Good morning, how are you? And it comes up for you real time. It's really easy and efficient, and you can also do that in lectures if you are listening to a lecturer and you wanted to store them notes really quickly.
Even wrote all that down for you, didn't it? So if you turn off dictate, I think one of the most valuable things is that if I was working with Jess is able to share her notes with me, I can share my notes back with Jess, and again it becomes a really collaborative tool to really organise us and make sure that I'm not lending Jess my notebook, she's losing it, and then I'm in trouble for my exam. Whilst at university, we start to experience a more and more hectic schedule. We've got demands coming from work, we've got demands coming from family, we've got friends, and it can be really hard to keep on top of that and actually organise your time as a valuable resource. One of the ways that I think is really great to manage that time as a resource is using the Outlook calendar. As you can see, what I've done here is create a sort of mock-up week that was my sort of typical schedule at university. I've colour-coded my lectures, my lunch breaks, even my social activities, to make sure that I'm really blocking out my time By having all these things colour-coded, it makes it so much easier that when I look at my calendar, I can see how much time I'm investing in revision, maybe if I'm investing a little too much time in social time, when I've also got gaps in my schedule that I can maybe fit in other things or other opportunities. This Outlook calendar provides you with so much more freedom than your uni timetable does, which is normally just like a really prescriptive list of all your lectures, which can be a bit terrifying. Whereas this, especially during revision time, can make it so much more manageable. So once you have your lovely calendar set up and all organised, it can be really useful to share your calendar with your friends, with your family. One of the things I think is great is if you share it with people on your course, so you can see when maybe me and Jess are both going to be revising the same things. You can maybe meet up and have a good study session together. As well, you can also share it with your friends. They can see when you might be free to maybe go to the pub or maybe some other more suitable social activities as well. Also, your Outlook calendar will sync to your OneDrive, meaning that if you've got your phone or any other device, you'll be able to check your Outlook calendar. Even if you're on the go, running late to a lecture, you want to know what lecture you're going to, you can check your Outlook calendar, see what you're supposed to be doing and when. And I think that's just a really helpful tool to sort of keep you organised, especially when you might be really stressed. On the theme of talking about the cloud and things syncing between devices, one of the things that I think is so valuable to keep yourself organised is having a really great OneDrive setup. As a student, you will also get 1 terabyte of data to use across your OneDrive. And all this basically is it allows you to save your things within the cloud, meaning that you can access your work whether you're on your phone, whether you're on your laptop, whether you're on your school sort of computers or library computers. As you can see, I've got all my folders for all my subjects set up here, nicely organised. And if I'm maybe in a rush, especially during revision time, again, when it's trying to find work and, oh, where did I put that essay? I can click in my advertise the essays and I can see all the work I've done for that subject there again as well. This also avoids the stress of maybe losing work, or if my laptop broke and I had all my precious work saved on here, knowing that it's on OneDrive gives you that security and makes you know that everything is in the right place where it needs to be.
To use some of the features and tools which we've discussed today, head to portal.office.com where you can access Office 365 with your uni student account.
And for more time-saving tricks, tips, courses and resources, head to our MEC page. Also, follow us at EdTechStudents on Instagram and Twitter to keep up with our team.
Thanks for watching.